Guys, we just hosted the first published author that we've ever had in these streets, Mr. Lister Walbrugh. We chatted about his upbringings in a small town, eventually living in Japan and the UK, and eventually finding his passion in writing, becoming an actual published author, publishing his first novel, and one of his short stories getting converted into a short film, and being an actor as well, and his process in writing and how he approached publications. Quite an inspirational story for anyone who's looking for inspiration and in the process of pursuing a passion and a dream. I recommend this to just everyone. It's quite a relatable story. So yeah, without further ado, let's do what we do. Let's start the show.
What you doing out in these streets, Leroy? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out? What you doing out? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out in these streets, Leroy? We in these streets.
So Lester, first of all, thank you so much for being here. Welcome to these streets. You are the furthest traveling. Okay, no, second furthest traveling guest. We had one guest from Sweden.
Right.
You are from Grabo.
Yes.
I had no idea until you arrived here that you actually lived there.
Yeah, no.
I had no idea. I thought you were from Cape Town because that's where we met. We met on the set of 2/3 of a Man.
Yes.
But yeah, you are the first author. You are the first author, published author that we have on the podcast. So I appreciate you for being here, sir.
It's an honor. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. We met, as I just said, in 2020. 2020, right? I just want to know and understand because I'm very fascinated when I see people who write books. First of all, where did the process, how did you find out or discover that you had a potential to write, this spark of creativity? Where did it come from? What inspired you? What is that process like in the beginning?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
The genesis really, I'd say, you write at school, you have to write opstellen. I was in Afrikaans.
Ja.
So ik was bij Afrikaanse school geweest. Okay. But you write like, what do you call it? Opstellen, yeah.
Yeah.
So there I kind of enjoyed it, and I was good at it. But at school you don't really think of that kind of activity as something that you can turn into a job that pays. So you mostly need to just focus on your school work, and I was good at biology too. So I didn't really think much about writing at school as a possible thing to do and a career move. So there's no real support. People telling you, yeah, you're good at this. You must make a living out of it. So that lack of interest, I would say support as well. Yes, it's other people's fault that I didn't start earlier. But I really came back to writing about 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So really late, you do everything. You try to make a living, you work, you study, and
the normal path.
The normal path. And then I came back to writing by accident, really. I was in a good space in my life at that time. I had a good job. I was teaching English that I really enjoyed. I was running. I know you're a runner.
Yeah.
So I have the utmost respect for runners.
Yeah.
And I know what discipline and what kind of challenge it is, and the rewards are huge.
Oh, yeah.
Not only physical, it's mental.
Absolutely.
All of that. So I was in a good space at that time of my life, and I woke up one morning and I thought, like, I remembered a dream, and I thought, there's this thing that you have to write down your dreams to, like, kind of I'd read an article earlier, maybe a week before that or something, saying I must write down my dreams. So I attempted to write down what I've dreamt. And that hooked me, that process. It was like immediate. This is something, this is fun. I really enjoy it. And it was a challenge that I, just to what was in my brain and what I was remembering, how to put it on the paper and reflect exactly what was
Yes.
going on in my brain. So that process about putting stuff down on the paper reignited, I think, the writing for me. From there, I started writing short stories, and then I joined a writing group because I wanted to know if it's any good. Does it translate to other people?
Is it the same writing group at Caravan Press that you...
No.
A different one, okay.
No, I was living in Japan at the time.
Wow.
So it was a writing group of mostly expats, all
Yes.
English-speaking people who's made their lives in Japan. Alvin, don't look at me that way.
What was that like, living in Japan?
Japan is my second home after Grabo.
No,
It was good.
Really, like,
Yes.
okay, what did you do in Japan? Were you also a teacher over there, or?
I was teaching English.
Okay, wait.
Yes.
What made the decision from going from I want to live in Japan, going from living in a small town to I want to live abroad and see the
I had
world?
lived abroad previously
Okay.
after I studied. I did a Bachelor of Science at Stellenbosch
Okay.
in the early 90s, and then straight after, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go and work in that field anymore, so I did. At that time, South Africans could do a 2-year working visa in the UK.
Okay.
So I did that. It's basically traveling, earning some money on the side to fund your travels. I spent 2 years in England for that,
Wow.
just doing any kind of job usually. So I'd lived abroad before, and then I came back for 10 years and worked in the family business.
Okay.
And as a clerk in an office job, and I hated it because
Is it?
it's soul destroying. It wasn't for me.
Really?
And this opportunity presented itself to go and work and teach in Japan.
That must have been a culture shock.
Not really. People ask me all the time, it's a culture shock, Japan.
I mean, I know we have like Japanese food over here, but it isn't the
Yes.
same thing.
No, I didn't know much of it. The only thing I knew about Japan, because they asked me in the interview, you go for well, I did an interview in Cape Town before I left for the
Okay.
job, right? Because it's the same company that
Oh, with the UK
employed you.
Oh, okay.
It was an English, a British company.
Okay.
They were in Cape Town,
Okay.
like 16 years ago, but I think they mismanaged, but they don't exist anymore. Yeah, so I got the job, and they asked me, what do you know about Japan, in the interview, and I said, yeah, the sushi, of course, and Mount Fuji. So I didn't know much.
Is that the only thing you knew about
that's
Japan at the time?
yes.
In the interview. Wow.
So, and I got the job, and I left and I went. Fell into like I didn't know how long I was going to stay. Ended up staying for 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is a long time.
They really made me feel at home. The people there,
Really?
and the whole place. Yeah, it was.
I heard so many good things about their discipline. And
That's the thing.
their
Thank
amazing
you.
mannerism
Thank you.
and,
That is actually the top.
Respect for people, and
The top
I'm
thing.
fascinated by that.
I have a friend in who still lives in Japan. She's like a permanent resident by now. She's been there almost 20 years. We hung out together at times, and we were at a party, one South African party, and this is one of very few I went to because I don't mix a lot with South African people abroad.
You spend more time with the Japanese people?
Yes, with local people and people,
Do you speak
meet.
Japanese?
Chotto dake.
What does that mean?
A little bit,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Wow, interesting.
And she said, they asked me, so what have you learned here in Japan at this party? And I said a lot of things. And then my friend also said, what about discipline? You forgot discipline. And that's the first thing you mentioned to me right now. It's the first thing that came up when you think about Japan for you. And that is it. That's a top thing, really, is a
That's the
discipline.
one thing I read a lot about, is the discipline. Sorry, I saw one video where they talk about their school system, and what they learn in the first few years of school is respect and discipline and how to treat people and how to find your passion. Before anything else, they first teach you that, and how to be kind. And it's amazing how that's getting instilled as a child. And obviously, once that is installed as a child, that takes you through your whole life, because it's already it's within you. So it isn't just learned at home, where it's supposed to be learned, like where your parents educate you at home, but at school also, because it's a skill essentially as well.
It's a skill you apply to all areas, basically, of your life, and learning it at an early age just makes it a bit easier to navigate whatever.
Why didn't you stay? What called you back home?
Krabo is my home. So this place is my home. Why? I needed to come back, and I started writing, and I write mostly about the people in the Western Cape, in my area.
How often did you visit back and forth?
Once a year, I could afford
Once
to come down every Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you really loved it over there.
I loved it.
Would you go back?
Yes, that's my plan. That's a master plan. Like, write a bestseller, and have the publisher send me over to Japan. Pay all,
All expenses paid.
Exactly. That's the master plan.
That's the move. That's
yes,
the move.
I'm not. I can't pay for my own way anymore.
But a flight to Japan is expensive. Because I really want to visit. And I look at the flights and I'm like, wow, the flight is okay, it's a long flight, I understand that, but it's expensive, just the flight
24
alone.
hours, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm definitely, I want to go to Osaka, and then this is one place, I know I wrote it down, it's the old, I think it's the old Japan. I really want to check that out as well.
Osaka's cool. Osaka's like the most relaxed city. The people are the most relaxed, I mean, Japanese tend to be a little bit uptight and serious, but Osaka people, they just, happy-go-lucky. They enjoy their life, they drink a lot, they eat a lot, and it's all about making money. Like, they will, instead of asking, how are you, they will say, how much money did you make today?
Wow.
So
is it like that?
Yeah, but it's in a fun way, of course.
Yeah.
And then they would say, no, not a lot. Wow. So that's the greeting, and then they go on.
Yes.
But yeah, Osaka is a cool city.
I've got a friend who lives in Hong Kong, born and raised over there, and she said, if I come to Japan, I must let her know, because when she was younger, they used to go to Japan frequently, like at least twice a year. So she knows a lot of places, islands and stuff that touristy places don't tell you.
Yeah.
So she said, I'm just let her know, and then she'll take me around and show me the.
You'd love it. It's a good country. It will be a good experience. Yeah. Kyoto, you're probably thinking about Kyoto.
Yes, that's it. Kyoto, yes.
The Americans said they're not going to bomb it because they dropped the nuclear bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. It was hands off, yeah, because the guy who decided where the bombs are going to get a kind of general something, right? He had apparently honeymoon there. He was on honeymoon there with his wife, and they loved the place. So
oh my gosh! You said no. Okay, that place is too nice.
Yep.
Got some sentimental value to him. That's interesting.
Crazy.
Wow. Okay. So. Okay.
Anyway.
That took me a bit off, but I'm so interested about travel and so on.
Yeah, coming back to culture shock. Not really. People ask me that question. Somebody asked me that question maybe a month ago, and if it was a culture shock going to Japan, no, not for me. It might be for people who live in England and America, where it's quite homogenous society. Everybody speaks English, and you live in a kind of bubble. South Africa isn't a bubble. Where we live, we if you go outside, you hear 10 different languages.
Oh, yeah.
You don't understand people, when they talk next to you in the street or in the shop or wherever. So that kind of, I was used to,
The different culture, the different languages.
that kind of setting. So for me, when I travel, it isn't such a big deal for me. It's a good thing, really. You can easily feel more comfortable and
That's
fit in.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, so you started writing after you had a dream, right?
Yeah.
That sparked this passion for your creativity.
I would never have
came
known if I'd not decided to write down that, I wouldn't have been here.
just because of that one moment.
Just because of that one moment. I would say it's
crazy.
like, but also everything I did up to that point, okay, I'm not going to say that made me who I am and all that. But I think it was the mindset of being disciplined. That is a big thing. It was a discipline, it was the running, it was being physically fit and mentally healthy.
Do you find that after you run, your creativity is, you're more creative?
That's what I did, yes.
It sparks your creativity.
Well, I'm not sure if it was the running. It was definitely a morning thing, which I ascribe to my brain in my head still being clear enough and focus. I mean, I could focus for a long period. So I did the running in the morning, first thing. I used to run in the evenings as well, but I switched it up because there are too many insects in the air in the evening. It got into my mouth, it got into my eyes. Insects, man.
I know, but like what?
What time do you run?
No, in the morning.
You run in the morning, exactly.
Early, yeah, but
yeah, the air is clear.
Are you talking about mosquitoes and
muggies and goed, they get into your eye. It's annoying.
Okay,
I didn't.
Okay, the only one time I experienced like I don't know, muggy or something was in my mouth on a mountain.
Yeah.
I was breathing quite heavily.
Yeah.
And then this thing was following my light of my headlamp because it was early morning, and I think it missed the mark and it went into my mouth. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was like
Yes.
It was so uncomfortable. But I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was in the evening. I noticed it. So yeah. My point is, I run in the morning.
Yes.
And I had a full-time job. I was working full-time at that time, and the only real time I used was in the mornings to write at least an hour or two.
Okay.
So that became a routine and discipline.
So even if nothing, so you would sit and write no matter what.
Yes.
An idea or not, you would write.
That's the thing. The writing group I joined, we met once a month, so we had a choice. We could just go to the meeting and sit together, and but the aim of this group was to get your work commented on. It's like you would
like feedback,
like feedback, yes, and you would submit something 3,000 words, which is the length of a short story.
Oh, okay.
Average.
Okay.
Not more, because people have jobs and they don't have time. So you have to read maybe like 10 submitted stories.
Okay.
For to prepare for the workshop. So I had like that motivation to write something at least every month. Otherwise, what's the use to go there? But you still learn things, even if you don't submit, because you can listen to what the people say about the other stories.
Aren't you afraid, like, let's say...
No, Owen. No, I'm not afraid.
No.
I'm too old. I'm too old to be afraid anymore.
Like
rejection.
No. Back then, right? Let's say you write this wonderful short story, right? It's amazing. You feel so passionate about it. You're in love with it. You go to this group meeting, right? You read your story. You submit it. Aren't you afraid maybe somebody might take it and put their name on it? And because I mean, back then.
No, don't you think that's like hoe sê jy mens as jy nou as iemand dink dis kwaai man. A compliment.
Yeah, but still, like, yeah, it's a compliment somebody take credit for your work, But still, wouldn't you feel like, yo, like there goes all my hard work, my creativity?
No, because I can do it more.
Wow.
And I can do it better.
You wouldn't
and
feel.
I wouldn't
wow.
feel, and I mean, how do you feel about your creative work that you do?
I just feel
you feel
upset. I mean, like, why are you
Yeah.
taking my, I mean, yeah, okay.
No, I feel it's a compliment.
Okay.
Like you feel it's good enough to use, and it's like, and it's on you.
Yeah.
It's really on you for using my stuff, and I don't know how that makes you feel for using someone else's stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's sad.
No, it is. It is sad.
But
It's a loser who does that. Yeah.
but the fun is in the process also.
It is. It is.
Mostly.
Yeah.
Otherwise you wouldn't do it.
There's something you get when you write. You can't describe it. The hormones released, the dopamine, the serotonin, the endorphins. It's something you can't describe that feeling you get when something just clicks and it's magic and you just flow and you're in your zone and you get to this flow state and it's amazing. It's more than therapeutic even. It's like a
It
drug.
can be. It's like running. It's meditative.
Yes.
This is a type of meditation.
Yeah, and it comes from nowhere. Like it's something that just appears in your mind. Like
And sometimes it doesn't come.
It doesn't. It
Yeah.
doesn't. Like, where are you? Where are you? It's like,
Yeah.
but I always say like, we humans are the vessel, and we have to keep our line open to receive these ideas. Because I always find if you keep watching TV or movies the whole time, or listening to music, and it's almost like somebody phoning you, and then the line is engaged, and they can't get through to you.
Yeah.
The moment you stop and just be quiet and be by yourself, and that's when everything just, the lines are open and you can receive and you can just flow, and it's amazing.
And then you must sit down and you must work.
Yes, it's work.
It's work.
It's
You
work,
must
yeah.
show up every day because you never know when it's going to come. But it's usually, I think, it's a combination. It's a combination of all that work that you put in, because you have to go through that thing before you can get to the real stuff.
Absolutely.
That's
There's
that's
a
worth it.
lot of things that you must eliminate. To take out the fat, cut out the fat, and see what's the lean cuts. Get
Yes.
the lean cuts. Okay, I can use this in my stew, and it's basically just adding ingredients to make this one big lekker
That's
potjie or
potjie.
something. Yeah.
But lekker smaak,
Yeah.
And you do a lot of things. That's how I write. Like if for a short story, it's like 3,000 words, right? I would probably write 5,000, 6,000 words, and then cut
Sorry.
all the stuff.
Do you okay, these short stories, right? Okay, this was your first book, right?
Yes.
2020.
2020.
Let it fall where it will.
Let it forward, well.
I was gonna ask you that a direct translation.
It is, yes.
Is
That's
it?
not good English, eh? That's terrible English.
Hey, we're not here to judge, eh? We're not here to judge.
And you put it on the cover, it's so right.
but now, how many stories are in here? Short
13.
stories. 13.
I've not opened it for a while.
Is it? Now,
But I think 13.
okay. Now, are a lot of these stories based on real life from personal experience?
15, sorry.
Or
No.
are they all they just ideas that just came to you, completely fiction?
Completely fiction. This is my vibe. Fiction.
Fiction.
I make things up.
Do you ever write from your personal experience? Something you've been through?
I would say, like, I mean, I cannot say that I'm not writing from personal experience, because I only have my own, viewpoint about everything. I can't speak for anybody else, and your experiences, I think, inform, a lot of your work. And your work can reflect what kind of experiences you've had. But direct telling And a direct translation of my experiences, no, none of these things have happened to me. I've never been in this kind of situations before. Everything's made up. But I think the way the characters like see themselves or operate within these stories, it's much, I would say, part of what I've experienced. Yeah.
Only in South Africa.
There are two stories based in Japan.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Which ones are those
But
called?
let's see, the one is oh shit, Mouse Man.
Mouse Man.
Yes, and the girl with the red shoes. Yeah.
The girl with the red shoes. What did your family and friends say when you started writing and you started? I mean, let's say going from a book club or a writing club to I wanna publish a book. I wanna make this more real than it is. Out there.
Yes, the writing group was very supportive. They read my stuff and then they said like, I must publish, I must submit it for publication and see where it goes. And it got accepted at some things online first, and then so it was a gradual process, and then in print as well in South Africa.
But okay, so what's it like submitting? Is it the proposal you have to submit to these publications or is it
Publications,
houses,
publications really.
Yeah.
That's where I started. It's like magazines. They print short stories online. So Google is your friend. You can find a lot of stuff there. That's 26 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I found everything online because I wasn't in the literary world. I didn't know any other writers. This was completely, other blue. How many writers do you know?
Not many.
Exactly. It's like
Not
that.
many,
You don't
yeah.
know writers, and you don't know the setup. So I had to.
It's a different world.
It's a different world that I knew nothing of.
Wow.
But I submitted to a lot of places, a lot of rejections, but some
Some are positive.
yeah, some were accepted. If your family is anything like mine, they go by their own business. They do their own thing.
Okay.
They got their own lives to live. And they say, "Oh, Lisa's writing. Okay, cool."
But what about Lister's writing a book? What about that? Were there any pushback? Anybody naysayers or
No,
really?
no, there's support.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. And when it actually came to fruition, when you actually had a hard copy in your hand, how did that feel like?
It felt like, okay, this is, I don't know, I don't get excited about these things. For me, it's like real, it's just a physical, it took on a physical form,
Yes.
right? But for me, it's like obvious. Do you know what I mean? When you make food and the food's done, you're not gonna be like, oh wow, there's food.
No, but that's different. No.
It's the same.
No, no,
It's like
no, sir. Hold on a second.
What do you mean? What do you want to?
That's funny. Wow, that's funny. When you make food done. No, come on. This is something that you're really passionate about. I mean, yes, you can be passionate about making
cooking. Yes.
making a dish of food, but I mean, come on. This is something that was created out of nothing. This is something that came out of your imagination. You
Yes.
put in hard work.
I don't
over
know.
a long period of time.
I'm very pragmatic. I know what you mean. I'm very pragmatic. I'm very practical about things. If you do something and then it's done, then
Yeah.
yeah, of course, I worked. I did the work, and I wrote this. And I don't know. I don't think about it in that way. Like I said earlier, also it's the process that matters. So it's not really the finished stuff.
Okay.
And by the way, I need readers. I need people to read this, and that's where I would say the real gratitude and that you feel at the end, and the surprise it's having readers.
What has the feedback been like?
Good. It's been good. It's been good. They say I'm a good writer.
Awesome.
And,
And some of your friends in Japan, you're obviously still in contact with them, right? Have they read
Yeah.
it as well?
They didn't know me as a writer. It's only the writing group that knew me as a writer. Nobody really knows me as a writer apart from the people that I met after writing these stories.
Well, yeah,
Other
but,
writers.
but don't you like
and
keep in
things
touch
like
with them
that.
and say, I've actually
Yeah, but
read
we
something.
don't talk about it. It's like this is like a 2-minute discussion. What are you doing? And then we talk about what they're doing,
Oh, wow.
work and kids and how life is going on. And
Oh, wow. Interesting.
yeah, it's not because our friendships aren't based on
What you do.
what I do.
Yes.
It's about what we mean to each other and for each other.
I
think.
I completely get that. It's like, these days, everyone's focused on what you're doing instead of like how you really are. How's life going? Everyone's focused on what you up to now, bro. Like, I hate that. Like, why can't we just have a normal conversation
Yeah.
about real life and how's the kids, how's the family? Are you okay? Like, But yeah, I completely get that. But it would just be interesting just to share with somebody, hey, I've written this book and this is so fun, and I'm so passionate about this new thing that I'm doing is writing, and I've got these short stories I'm compiling and I send to publications, and it's just nice to bounce back off somebody, have a conversation, and just to share that process with somebody. So I just thought maybe your friends in Japan would have enjoyed that. Like, oh wow, this is so cool. I'm so happy for you.
No, they are very supportive. It's like if I post something on social media and they see I'm doing this, or there's a book, then they will really support me that way, and they're so happy for me. So that's cool. But then we move on. We talk about other stuff.
Yeah. About making food.
About making food. Exactly.
Now, recently, one of your short stories was made into a short film, right?
Yeah.
I think it's called A House Not a Home. Is that
Yes,
correct?
a house is not a home.
Now, what
Yeah.
is that? Okay, now I know you're probably going to say something. I'm a practical guy. I mean, yes, your book got published and you're like, food is done. But now, from your imagination to a book to screen, what is that like for you to see one of these stories that you've written yourself getting chosen and then said, I want to make a short film from this because I think I can relate to this, or I think people can relate to this story and I think it would be good. What is that like for you?
If the process itself is again that fun in the creating and making new things, taking on the challenge really, and seeing it through, seeing how you can at best, reflect what's on the page. I mean, in this stage, going to the screen. I had to write the screenplay, the script so I adapted the short story.
That's awesome. So it wasn't like somebody else took it over and then chopped and changed whatever. So, okay, that's good. They gave you that type of creative control. That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Earl is the director.
Yes. Shout out to Earl.
Shout out to Earl.
Shout out to Earl, yes.
He's the director. He's gonna probably tell you more if you get to see him and talk to him. He'll tell you more about it. But it was I felt excited. I felt this is really cool. There's a word for it. I can't get to it now, but it's nice to see that other people take the story, like the director. It's not just me now anymore. That's, I think, was the big thing for me. The big change is that so many people get to tell this story again in their way.
Yeah.
In a different way, like the actors and the sound guy and all the DOP, director of photography, they all have they bring their own like spice to the story. So that was cool for me, that process to see.
And obviously the editing process, were you involved in the editing as well?
Yes, not a bit. like comments and
Yeah,
things,
like
but no
take
real.
this out or no, this doesn't
No,
belong
I just,
here,
that's not my,
or-
because it's not my movie. It's the director's
Okay,
movie.
so
It's
once
his,
so once the
his-
shot is done, that's then it's like it's in their hands now. Okay,
And I'm not precious
Then-
about things.
and then it's for weird will basically.
Not as far
Yeah.
well. That's what I told you earlier on. Also, it's like I'm not. If somebody uses a story, plagiarize it, it's fine. Go take the story. You obviously like it, but
Yeah.
you know it's not your work.
Yeah.
In that way, I don't mind people taking the story and, in this case, putting it on the screen and making a short film of it, and put in their perspective of how what the story is about. There's something I wanted to say about. Anyway, it'll come back to me.
Okay.
Sorry. It's fun. Oh, you say, how does it feel? Also, the first time my story got published, or that story that got turned into a short film, Homeful, it's called. Homeful.
Homeful.
That's a story. Yeah, that's a short story. So we changed the.
Oh, we changed the name to adopt for the screen.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Director's choice, of course.
Oh, of course.
What I didn't expect to feel the first time my story got published, because I didn't know the process, and then they said, yes, we like your story, we're going to publish it, we're going to put it in a book with other short stories. That was probably a good day for me, a really good day, because it meant my work probably means something.
It's basically got validation.
Validation.
Yes.
Not that I write for validation, of course not. I write for the
But
fun
it's just
of it.
nice
It's a challenge.
to
It's nice.
be appreciated.
So, to tell you about that feeling is I couldn't believe that people were sitting down and reading this story, and there's a process that goes with this. People that's editing your story, so they're really engaged with the story, and they come back with questions. Did you mean this or did you mean that? And it's like, so people really sat with the story and worked on it and analyzed it, and then it went to some copywriter who had to, type out the whole thing and then print it. And it's like, and I thought, wow, people are doing all this work to get my story that I wrote into a book, and do the print. So this whole team of people working together to put a story that I wrote
Just
into
for
this,
me?
just for me.
Just for me.
So that was a good feeling.
Guy from a small town.
Yes, Afrikaans.
Can you just, okay, a lot of people don't even know or heard of a town called Grabo. Just give people an idea
It's only you.
of you.
It's only you. Don't talk about other people. It's
How
only
dare you, sir? How dare you take that back, sir? You take that back.
Tell me, what do you know about Rabo?
I have no idea. I obviously met people who've been there, who live there. It's very Afrikaans, I know that, and people braai also over there.
Yeah.
And it's cold, because you told me
It's
it's
cold.
cold, and it's
Colder than you.
colder than the Cape, and it's far.
It's far because there's a mountain.
Yeah, there's a mountain.
That's
as
the
you
thing. It's
said,
not really far, but there's a
okay.
mountain.
But it's a 40-minute drive, you said, right?
40-minute
drive, and it's is it very farm-like in some places?
It's a small town.
It's just a small town.
Yeah, it's a small town. It's
But
rural.
But it's not fast like Cape Town.
Nope, not at all.
And stores close early. Is it,
On a Saturday, maybe at 1. Yeah.
At 1 p.m.
Some shops. Yeah.
Is it? But it's like Cape Town, but just a smaller version of it. But in that sense, or much less people, obviously.
Yeah, but what small towns do you know well? I just want to see. It would be
Pakkersdorp
easier.
or-
Pakkersdorp is near George, right?
Yeah.
I think smaller.
Smaller than Pakkersdorp. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say. Or maybe the same. I just think in terms of Pakkersdorp, just as a part, of George, really. So George is the extension of Pakkersdorp. So
It is.
It's
It
big,
is.
then.
Yeah.
That's why I say Grabo is
But
probably smaller.
but what's it? Okay, so obviously this process that you went through, and you felt like everyone's putting in this work for you. This guy came from a small town. Now, a part of you is leaving Grabo, and a part of people are seeing another people who've never even heard of the town getting to know you through your work and your mind. That must also feel special as well. I mean, putting some light on the town as well. People know this author is from a small town. Doesn't I'm sure that inspires other people who come from small towns and humble beginnings and you know, they have dreams of leaving their situation no matter where they are. They say, you know what, I can also publish my work, you know. I can also get my dreams out. So doesn't that also like make you feel in a way, you know, honored that your work is out there and like, wow, like I've got a hard copy and people are actually seeing my work?
It is. It's I don't think it in terms of that like being it being out in the world. Really, if it's out in the world and it's no longer mine, it's the person who reads these stories. It's their stories, their book, right? No, I don't want to. And also in terms of being an inspiration for people, no, I don't think. In terms of, I don't subscribe.
You
to
don't
that.
subscribe to that?
No, it's me.
But your name is
I'm
on
an
there.
individual. This is me. Yes, it has to be. Practical Albert, pragmatic. The thing is,
Is that a small town thing, being pragmatic and practical and looking at it in that sense?
I have no clue. No, I think it's more of a family thing. Is it's how I've been raised, and I think what suits my temperament, and that's why I liked Japan.
Absolutely,
as
I
well.
can see why.
And
I can see. Absolutely. Now, this. Okay, I just want to understand. Okay, first of all, this is your second book, right?
Yes.
Published in
well,
2020.
Second publication, first novel, debut
Okay,
novel. Yeah.
debut novel. Okay, just wait. Before we talk about this, sorry, I just had a question.
Yeah.
These 13 stories, right? How long does typically take you to write a short story?
It takes some time. Well, it depends on the story. Sometimes it's quick. The real work is in the editing afterwards, like we spoke about earlier.
Yeah,
You
the
get a
5,000
lot of
words
stuff.
to 3,000, and then the copywriter says, "Okay, hold on. What did you mean here? What did you mean there?"
Yeah, so that can take a while before the finished product. And
But like from your mind to the page to send it off, like how long typically does that take?
when I was at the writing group and the workshop, it was monthly that we had to submit, or we could submit. So basically, I wrote the short story
In a month.
in a month's
Okay,
time.
that's good.
It's about what, an hour, 2 hours a day in the morning.
Okay. Do you write pen and paper or do you type? Or
I typed. I'm trying to write now with pen and paper. It's just like
back to the old way.
see what it does with my thinking process. How it might slow it down, because it takes longer to write
yes.
words down. So I'm trying to see what effect it has on my.
I feel like sometimes your mind is working so fast and it can't keep up when you write. So maybe I think it's like sometimes I feel like I'm gonna lose that moment because my mind is running so fast. So if I try to keep up with it, typing is faster.
Yeah, I feel that way too, But sometimes I want to see if I ignore that feeling, because maybe you don't always know what you want or what you need. So if you're gonna, for me, that's a type of control,
The discipline.
Also, and some of the best stuff creatively happens when you just let go of that control. When I feel like, I've got all these thoughts and I need to get it down on the page. Yes, there's some value in that. But what if I don't get it fast enough on the page and I slow down, what will happen to what will happen to those ideas? Maybe I'll lose it. Maybe it will morph into something else.
Maybe that's the fat that's just coming out,
Yeah.
and then the lean is what you need is just coming out in pen and paper.
Is when you
That's
slow.
interesting
So
perspective.
I'm curious about what it does. What else?
Yeah. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay. Okay. So, your first novel publication. Do you say Baatjies or Baatjies?
Baatjies.
Baatjies. Okay. Elton Baatjies, right? I'm intrigued by this. This is based. Okay. This is obviously fiction, right? So 6 boys or men were found raped and murdered, right? And it's basically an unsolved crime.
Well, yeah.
In the beginning, it
it's a
starts
crime.
out, right? So, just, okay, for us in South Africa or Cape Town, you don't find many stories like that. The one thing that screams out to me is back, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if it reached the town of Grabo, you know. The station
Probably 2 years after it happened, yeah.
The Station Strangler. Are you familiar with this?
The book
serial
was
killer?
prompted by that guy.
Now that
is this
immediately-
area? Eh? Is this area?
It's
Is it
Strandfontein,
what's in
Mitchell's Plain.
Nederig. Is Nederig there?
I don't know, but the Strandfontein, Mitchell's Plain, that was his playground.
Yeah. And then one of the boys who found Bella also.
Is it?
Yep. I
Interesting.
had to do the research. I
Oh,
read
wow.
a lot about the stories. And yeah, no, I was these kids' age. It reached us definitely. We all knew, but it was big news.
Yeah.
I would say this story, Elton Baatjies is my killer. He's the killer. He's the guy who commits these crimes.
The teacher.
The teacher. So he's a teacher. There's like similarities.
Spoiler alert. Sorry, guys.
No, it's not a spoiler at all.
I'm just playing.
It's not a spoiler. We can talk about everything. I think the reading the book will be an experience rather than finding out what happened. It's an experience.
So this was definitely based on similar to that.
Similar to that.
Because he was released not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
I read something about that. Yes. Well, do you think he should have gotten life?
Didn't he get life? Oh no, I don't know.
I can't recall
And then
exactly
he-
what his sentence was. I can't recall. But are you surprised that he was released?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Like,
I was also.
because I mean, basically, he's guilty, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how the justice system was like. I don't know the ins and outs.
How many boys did he kill?
Well, if it was him, 22,
22.
around there, it's a lot. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And he was just let out.
Yeah,
Let
so
go.
that thing. But well, if it was him, the interesting thing about it, I don't want to say, like, but I don't. He got caught on some eyewitness account. The murder stopped as well after he was caught. That's also maybe something, but that's not something that will stand in court.
Yeah,
You can't really argue. Like, I would imagine. But a woman saw him in the Strand, near the Strand train station. She saw him with the last boy that got murdered, and that's how they caught him. He was identified by her. That's all. That's how they got him, and that's why they put him in jail, because of this woman's story. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
They
Wasn't
can't
there,
link
wasn't there
him.
evidence or anything?
Nothing. They
I
can't
thought they-
link him.
Did he confess?
Confessions, you've seen lots of movies.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
under duress.
coerced
People
or-
just like
yeah.
write this or
Yeah.
sign there. This is
And
your
they will
confession.
stop beating you.
Exactly. They needed to find So I mean, at that time it was just before the elections. Also, it was election year, and the boys had been going on. I'm not sure how long.
Was the '94 elections, right?
I think so.
Wow.
I think so. It's like these killings and the murders been going. This guy's been killing and murdering these kids and putting them in shallow graves for what, 10 years? Some crazy time.
Was it going on for that long?
Yes.
But we only got wind of it like the last year or something.
What? Where? Like when he got released?
No, not in the last year. But what I'm saying is, in the last year of these murders, that's only brought to the news and attention like late. I didn't know it was for 10 years.
I think it was a long time. We can Google it, but yeah, it was.
That's
it was
crazy.
Crazy.
Wow.
It's like no one does anyone care? No.
Wow.
So yeah, these are kind of things that bug me. How do we get this teacher in the community? He knows everybody. I spoke to some of his colleagues afterwards. They said he was a bit weird. He loved attention. He was very charming. They told me a lot of stuff about him.
Wait.
No, the real guy, the strangler.
He was a teacher.
He was a teacher.
I had no idea. So he spoke to his colleagues.
Yeah.
And he seemed normal.
Yeah.
Nobody knew.
Yeah. There were certain things that were off, but not something that you would.
Wow.
Everything's hindsight, of course.
That's
afterwards, they'd
wild.
look at him and say, "Oh yeah, no, it wasn't like that."
So you actually interviewed them?
I spoke to them afterwards. I was at the Cape Flats Book Festival 2 years ago or last year.
That's wild. And obviously, did people pick that up as well? Same like me, like to make that link between your story and the station's wrangler.
It's not a secret. It is. I wouldn't say it's based on that story. It's prompted by that story.
Yes, but what I'm saying, did people make that link as well?
Yeah, people make the link all the time. It's annoying because it isn't that story.
Yeah.
It's a completely different story,
Yeah.
right?
No, but
it
it
takes
just-
that mold.
Yes, it just, for me, it just stood out immediately. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So. What was this process like? Like, okay, yes, this is short stories, right? This is it's a short story. It's not as complex as writing a book, because as a book you have to like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. How do you start and say, okay, this is gonna be chapter 1, okay, this is gonna be chapter 2? How do you make that? Asseblief, yeah. Do you say you just write? And then after a while, you're like, okay, fine, let's make this into a chapter 1. Let's make this chapter 7. Or how does that happen?
When was this published? 2022.
2022.
I'd been writing this book for 3 years onwards. So, what's the time frame we're talking about now? It's 2024 now. So maybe 5-6 years ago.
Oh, it's 5 years ago.
Yeah. So I need to go back and to answer your question. So how do you sit down and write a novel? Work every day, discipline, get up, treat it as work, right?
Yeah.
And you sit down, you write. You think for a long time you just sit there. What am I going to write about today? What character do I want to learn about a little bit more? I think that was my process.
So you write from a character's perspective, like
yeah.
this character. Okay.
It's very
character
driven.
So okay. So do you like say, okay, this is, hey, do you say like, let's say, the teacher, Elton Baatjies, right? Do you say, okay, this character looks like this and this, he normally wears this is his mannerisms? Do you put all of that together? Wow.
It comes out with the process. You realize, okay, maybe you've written something that he does, like this guy. I think he has a bit of a gap in his front tooth, in between his front teeth, right? And he tends to like do this.
All those quirks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he did it once, and then I thought, okay, no, that's a quirk. So maybe he does it in certain situations. I don't know, when he's feeling really confident, when he's got like, all that swag, or does he feel when he's anxious? Does he do that? So you kind of imagine the situation that he's in, because people tend to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, focusing on a character gets all these information to you at some point.
But okay, so the character development, right? But still, like, how do you know what's chapter 1 gonna be, and chapter 7 and chapter 10 and titles? How do you structure that? You know, because obviously, like, your mind has all these ideas and it's all rushing at you, and you just want to write because this creative process is there. But how do you structure it and say, you know, this is the book, this is the preface. How does that all come together? Like, how do you sit and structure that?
That's interesting. You know, when you ask me these questions, I'm forced to think about the process, and I think about things, you know, that I didn't really think about before. But no, it takes me back, and it gives me a clearer idea about what I did, because there is no process, and I'm sure when I get to write another book or my next book, the process wouldn't be the same. I think it very much depends on the story, and you respect your work, you respect the story, right? If I'm going to write a book, I need to show the necessary respect, because other people are going to read it, and if you don't apply that, then why are you doing this? It was a lot of different parts at some point. It was a completely different story at the start. There were two brothers, for example, and one of the brothers was a killer. Like I went in a totally
Like a
different
plot twist
direction.
or-
Yeah. At some point, you wouldn't know if the detective or the teacher was the killer. So the story took on many forms. I didn't like where it was going, so I had these chapters that I'd written about some characters who aren't in the book anymore in this finished story, but parts of different characters I could use and put it maybe in this teacher as a completely new character. But the coming together of
Maybe
this
to
whole
give the
thing,
character more depth.
yes,
Yes,
yes, and I'd already written that part, but for a different character, a different guy who's not
Maybe to give
in
him
the book.
layers.
Lots of chapters, get it together. I mean,
'Cause-
I think that's after you've written. I got it together in the shape that I felt it was, and then you switch things around and see what works and what doesn't work and what
Because, like, let's say somebody's out there who wants to write the book, they have this desire, but it's so intimidating because the main question is, where do you start?
Where do you start?
You
That's
know.
always a thing. It's where do you start? You start there right now where you are.
And develop everything around that.
See, they take it step by step. I think they don't try to do the big thing. You need to do it small, day by day.
Did you use the same publishing house?
Yes, this is an
Oh, okay.
independent publisher,
Okay.
Caravan Press
Caravan Press, yes.
in Cape Town. Yes, it's not a big publisher.
Shout out to Caravan Press.
Shout out to Caravan Press and Karina Shizarek, my publisher. She, I think,
Were they the first people you approached with this book, or did you also go
I
the
was-
same process to pitch to different publishing houses?
I was lucky because my publisher Karina, she's involved in lots of projects concerning fiction in South Africa. She's involved in short story competitions, a lot of them also. Short Story Day Africa is the one that's in the continent, African continent. They publish stories from all the countries
wow.
in Africa. Short Story Day Africa. So she's been involved in that. Short, sharp stories is an initiative of the government, trade and industry. I'm not sure, but that's also a short story competition that she's involved in, and that's just for South Africans. Anyway, I submitted a lot of my work over the years. So there's a period of 5 years or 4 years that she came across my work and read it, and later on she started recognizing that this is Lester's work. I can read the story and see who's written it.
Oh wow.
She loved it, and then she approached me when she started a Carrion Press in 2020 years. So this a short story, this collection of short stories, one of the first books she published.
Oh wow.
But I was lucky. She unfortunately she liked my stuff enough to put money into it and publish it.
That's awesome.
You, as a writer, you shouldn't pay anything unless you're going self-publishing route,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
There are.
But that's amazing that, doesn't it, I know you're a pragmatic and a practical person, but doesn't it feel also like so crazy that not only are people reading it, but there's somebody out there that actually believed in my work so much that they are willing to put money, invest money into it. It must feel amazing.
I'm just like, finally, I know my work is good.
Yeah.
I know this is something that needs to be published, so it's more like, what's taking you so long to read this?
I like that.
It's more like, yeah, of course.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
That should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. That's awesome. Wow, okay.
If you want to write, you need to read a lot. I'm Afrikaans. I speak Afrikaans at home. It's my home language. But I wrote in English because I read in English. I didn't.
Oh, you didn't read in Afrikaans?
I didn't read a lot of Afrikaans because I wouldn't feel comfortable writing in Afrikaans. But
is that something that
that's not something that I worry about anymore. I'm gonna.
like,
Ek gaan net skryf.
not even a short story, you think? Maybe?
I wrote a short story in Afrikaans.
Okay,
instead,
okay.
But I need
But
to
you
write
feel
more.
more comfortable writing in English?
I felt more comfortable writing in English, and also I wanted to get published easily abroad. Get money, man.
And
Get money.
obviously the market is big in English as well.
Abroad, the biggest
Abroad.
market in Afrikaans is in South Africa is Afrikaans.
But how is it?
Afrikaans fiction sells more
Really?
than English. So, well, English fiction, South African English fiction need to compete with international authors. So South Africans would rather read South African or international authors
That's
than it's just a thing we have, right? We don't have confidence in ourselves, and we think that abroad is better. International writers are better, so that's where the sales go. People read James Patterson.
Oh, James Patterson. Who are some of your authors that you loved and growing up? And where did you? Okay, what type of books were your favorite books to read?
Shakespeare. No, I'm joking. I never
Yeah.
Yeah.
Othello was good though.
Othello was good. It's a good one. Good story. Stephen King. I like horrors. Easy reading. I think is very entertaining. Lots of novels I read a lot of the years, different stuff. I can't say there's one, but
Yeah,
Stephen King, I would.
stands out
So
for you.
this is some stands out for me. Yeah.
How many books do you think you've read?
I can read a lot more than I've read up to this point. I'm a terrible reader.
Are you a physical
Yeah.
book reader, or like
Physical.
So you don't do the electronic PDF book or audio books?
No.
Is
I've not really tried it, but yeah, I must. listen.
is there an audiobook version of these two books?
But do you wanna offer to do an audio reading of this book?
Me?
Yeah.
What do you what do you mean?
I mean,
like,
do you do you're a trained actor?
but, okay, not trained.
Well, I'm not a trained writer.
No, but I think are you referring to me reading the book and then converting it to the audiobook.
Yeah,
Saying
if
that.
you know, if the publisher comes back
Uh-huh.
to me like we wanna do an audio book, and then I say, okay, I know a guy who can read.
Okay, we all can read.
Would you do that?
If you feel comfortable with my voice, then fine.
Yeah. I
But-
wouldn't ask you if I didn't feel comfortable with your voice.
Oh wow, okay. I feel honored. Stop it, you stop it. But now, like for me, like I love audiobooks, right? But I feel like if the author reads it, like it's so much better, you know, because then I understand how the author meant to write it.
Yeah.
Because now a voice actor comes in and he just reads it.
Should we read a bit, and then I will read a bit, and then you can read a bit, and then we can see.
Not on camera over here, bro.
We're on camera all like for the past hour. What's the difference?
Yeah, but this is me like reading your work. It's something different and out loud also. But it's wild. Like if you feel comfortable, like I said, I don't mind. But for me as a reader, I like it when the author, like if a voice actor comes along, but he must be a really good voice actor.
It is. I mean, some authors are better readers. I'm a terrible reader. I mumble because I get bored because I know the story.
Oh,
and
that's
then I'm just
interesting.
like, and I rush. So I'm not
So
really.
you in automatic pilot is like, okay, I know what's gonna happen here, kind of thing.
Yeah, and then I go like that. It's not very cool. I'm looking for something that you can read.
Yeah, I can't read like too complicated words out here. I'm getting nervous already. Just give me words like the and cat and hat.
Okay, I mustn't throw you in the deep end. No, man. Come on. Where is this now? Okay. This is a bit like the story's name is Hairs and Graces.
Hairs and graces. Okay.
It's about this girl who goes to a wedding, a colored girl, and the process that she goes through to get her hair ready. You know,
Okay. Oh,
the hair is a thing.
got it.
And getting ready for the
Is
wedding.
this before GHD era?
Before what? Sorry?
GHD era. The fact-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, JHD made a difference.
Changed
JHD
the
was
game.
a game changer.
Because I don't even
That's what I-
remember, like they called something. Women used to do this thing called the flum. They used to use a gas stove
yeah,
with the metal
yeah.
iron to basically do the same process like a GHD
Yeah.
is doing. Yeah.
I think this is JHD, but still her hair minced.
Oh my gosh.
Oh well, it happens. And now she's at the wedding, and there's this white guy that likes her, but he's basically annoying her. So she this and she's in conversation with him. Cheers, you can start there.
No man.
Go,
You're
man.
putting me on the spot. Cheers, she says, and knocks her back. Sorry. Cheers, she says, and knocks back her drink. How about a dance, she says, or she tries. You people can really move, says John. I think that's a bit racist, isn't it?
Very racist.
How dare he? This damn Johan.
Yeah.
His eyes are curious, cautious. Excuse me? I said. You people can really dance. I really admire your sense of rhythm. You people? The brass switch flips. Thanks, Johan. And I really admire your... What is this word?
Casual. Of course, is it casual?
Is it
Desmond.
Desmond, excuse me. Desmond grapples for a word. Is that his name? Desmond.
Desmond is a
Is that her
girl's
name?
name. Yeah,
Okay.
the woman's name.
Okay, Desmond. Desmond grapples for a word. Your sense of casual insularity. With his glasses as a mirror, she unfurls the duke. Ooh. The duke.
Tell it, Dukav.
One hand dangles the yellow strip and the other runs long fingers over her minced hair. She turns to leave, then looks back over her shoulder and says to Johan, thank you for the drink. And by the way, Johan, your puss.
Yeah, man.
What? What? This book is wow. Okay, wow. Okay, wait. Okay. That's interesting. But
That's okay. She tells him off. Like, yeah, she's
but
having enough.
okay. So there were few stereotypes over here that Johan.
Yeah, no,
shouldn't
and that was the last of it. There were a couple more before.
Is
It's just
okay.
microaggressions.
Babe,
People don't realize.
Chloe gushes over her shoulder. A swirl, almost in swirl goes. A swirl of sweet fragrance. You must take a photo with us. All the girls. Desmonet stifles a I don't feel like poising a poising.
Posing.
Uh,
I think.
okay, I get it because the italics threw me off.
Oh yeah.
The italics. I don't feel like posing for a photo right now. She smiles and says instead, yes, of course. Where? In front of the band. We want to make as if we're doing the Bart. Oh, the Bart Simpson. I remember the Bart Simpson. Yeah. How old is the story based in? It is based in.
People still say the Bart.
The Bart Simpson. Yeah. Dickie came up with the idea. Brilliant, don't you think? But just wait a minute. Let me touch up my lipstick first. Be back in a sec. Before Chloe turns away, she says, this music is so groovy, hey? So different. Desmonet glances over at the band. Is this the song that played in the taxi? An instrumental version of Judy Boucher. Hey, can't be with you tonight. Oh, cool. Okay, I get it. But yeah.
I just wanted you to read it. So yeah, it's good stories. You will enjoy it.
I like how the dialogue. It's interesting though, back and forth. Yeah, and how you add the colored culture and the difference between the white culture in there as well, in that type of way. It's quite intelligent, I must say.
Thank you. That's the only story where there's white people. I don't want white people in my books, my stories.
Why?
Because they don't feature in a lot of the personal lives of my characters. And I wanted to write it from that perspective, like what influence do they really have? We still live segregated lives, and so yeah, the stories try to reflect that kind of reality. That except when cultures clash, and that's the only story that features these coming together.
Which is like a ceremonial event. It wasn't like popping into down the street or something. I get it.
It's work colleagues. It's a colleague's wedding. So it's
okay.
Like that kind of
that makes
setup.
sense.
That's usually what happens. Elton Baatjies. I hope it gets turned into a series. Netflix. There's been interests. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It will be.
That is awesome.
So far,
that is
nothing yet.
Awesome.
But there's been interest. So if one person feels, or one production company feels that it could be a miniseries or film, there must be more.
Absolutely.
So,
no, absolutely.
And then if it gets turned into a series or a film, then I'll come back and we can talk about it again.
I would be honored to have you back on. Yeah, man, and invite me on the set.
On the streets.
I want to check out how they shoot it as well. That would be interesting. The process, to see how things go down. That would be really interesting to see the magic put together. Yeah. Where can people find some of your books? Where can people buy them? Which stores have it? Can they buy it online or?
You can buy it online as well. I'm not sure where. You have to search for the titles. But anyway, Exclusive Books has it.
Okay, that's a very popular store.
Yeah, Wordsworth has it. Independent bookshops might have it. The thing is, people can just if they don't have it, you just ask them for a copy and they'll get it for you. They'll order from so it won't.
Your surname is it pronounced Walbrugh?
Walbrugh, yeah.
Walbrugh, okay. So it's author's name is Lester Walbrugh. This is called Elton Baatjies. and the other one.
Yeah, ik is Elton Baatjies. Like,
For the record.
People call me Elton.
For the record. And this is where Rated 4 where it will also list of Walbrugh. If you want to search for it, okay, I will put it at the bottom of the screen as well, so I don't have to spell it out. But yeah, exclusive books, Wordsworth. Check it out online, Google it. Authors don't get enough credit, which they should get more credit.
More money would be nice.
That's what I'm talking about. Credit, money, respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems like only when something gets turned into a movie, that's when people start looking at it differently. Because these days, people are more visual. They lost that art of just sitting and being quiet and just being by themselves and picking up a book and just reading.
It's work, Alvin. Reading is work because you need to work your imagination. You need to,
Absolutely.
Figure out what this looks like. You have to picture it in your brain. So that's kind of work.
Yeah, and a lot of people have jobs and their families to raise, and they don't also have the time. Also,
They don't.
So people don't look at I'm gonna make time. I'm gonna sacrifice doing something else, and I'm gonna spend time and actually picking up a book and reading it. Only when they see it on Netflix, hey, now I'm gonna press play quickly, and it's so weird that's what I'm saying. Authors don't get enough credit. That's why I hope this gets turned into a series or a movie, something people can watch and view and appreciate this work of yours even more. People who are not keen to pick up a physical book, and people who are more Netflix or series people, So I really hope this gets turned into, same with that one story got turned into a short film. I hope the same thing happens over here, but like you said, like a Netflix thing. Where it's
A
more
bigger audience for the stories, yeah.
Yes, and it's more accessible. So I really hope, and I hope you get paid.
Yeah, because books are expensive.
Yeah.
Books are crazy expensive.
It
I don't
is.
buy. That's a good thing about being an author. People give you books. I didn't expect that.
That's amazing.
That's nice.
That is cool. Check out my book. Hey.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's nice. That's nice.
So yeah,
I hope you get.
If you want to get free books, write something.
Yeah.
You're gonna get it published.
I love that. So I hope you get the credit, the money, the respect, all of the above, everything you deserve and desire.
Thank you, man.
I wish you all the best for your next project. Is there a new book coming?
No, not yet. I'm working on a
Not yet.
screenplay with Earl.
Is it?
Yes, you can ask him about it because it's his brainchild.
How did you get involved with 2/3 of a Man? Because you were an actor as well in the movie as well, right?
Yeah, we had to act.
No, but I liked your scene. Like you in the car reversing, right? I was like,
Oh, that thing! I just made it up in the morning before
no,
I
but
went to the
no, but
No, I practice.
now you can see you practice. I could see you put in work in that scene. Because I was like, wow, because like when I met you in the club, and then to see that, because it's completely different. I was like, whoa, okay, wow.
Is it?
But I was completely impressed with you. I actually thought you were an actor. I didn't know, you were actually. But how did you get involved? Is it because you knew Earl, or what was your job on that movie?
Well, he gave me a producer credit. I did everything else. Runner, coffee, food. But what you call that call sheet thing?
Oh, yes,
making
yes,
sure
yes.
that we stick to the call sheet and
yes.
making sure that everybody. So basically, a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Because it was what kind of production it was and how crazy it could be on set.
Yeah.
Because it basically was just Earl and I
Yeah.
that were doing most of the work. And we're good friends. We've known each other since we were 18. That's how I got involved. I got involved when he sent me the screenplay and asked me what I thought of it.
Okay.
And then he went from there. I told him, yeah, it's good, but it needs some work. And I started work.
Are you, based on that one role that you had in the movie, are you keen to do another acting role on screen?
Only things that will excite me. It's like,
you know these divas.
and I have to feel inspired before I say it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I don't know. No, that was more like we had to do it. We ran out of people on set that we could use,
okay.
and we can't really use
funny.
the same guy twice for different characters. That's like, okay, this is a cheap movie.
I get it.
So there were two roles to fill, and I told Earl, let's do it, man. It was like, challenge them.
That's awesome.
It's like,
But
we can save money.
Lester, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank
for coming.
you. Thank
It was
you.
an honor
Thank you.
having you in the streets. Thank you so much. Where can people find you on social media as well?
Yeah, Krief Kerry.
Krief Kerry. Why Krief Kerry?
Krief Kerry, I was in Japan at the time, Instagram, I think,
And then
was quite new.
And then you list for Krief
at that
Kerry at the time.
I think I was less for Krief Kerry, and yes, exactly. I but the reason why it's not my name is because Japanese people are kind of like paranoid about exposure, names and addresses and phone numbers
I think it's
online.
an Asian thing.
Yes,
Because somebody else also, I don't want to mention her name, she also
Yep.
does the same thing.
Yeah, they're very aware of maybe identity theft or something like that. So I just went with whatever the people around me were doing. So
All right,
I
so
didn't think twice. So
find him, Krief Kerry, find him on
Krief Kerry.
social media. That's on Instagram, right? Any other platforms?
no,
So
not really.
Krief
That's
Kerry.
the most active way you
Okay.
see what's happening.
And check out the Caravan Press also on Instagram as well. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best and hope to see you soon.
Thank you. All the best with the podcast. I enjoyed it.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you did.
What you doing out in these streets, Leroy? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out? What you doing out? What you doing out in these streets? What you doing out in these streets, Leroy? We in these streets.